Collective. It's Belania with Aspire to the Self, another astrological energy forecast for the week of November 20th to the 26th. If this is your first time here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe so that way you get notified of all uploaded content. I do weekly astrological energy forecasts as well as daily motivational shorts of messages from your higher self. I also do collective tarot readings that are posted every day for you guys, except for the weekends, because that's for me and my family. Okay. I am also the author of The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is a fairy tale about following your intuition and how it can be used to overcome all obstacles, help you to heal from all traumas, as well as how to get you to your happy ending in whichever way that looks for you. Okay, you can find this book on places such as Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon, just to name a few, as well as on my website, www.aspiraltotheself.com. If I spoke too quickly for you, in the description box as well as in the comment section, we'll have the link, okay, as well as all of my social media platforms. So please be aware of fake pages pretending to be me. Please block those. Please also be aware of scammers. I would never contact you first, okay? As well as at the end of this video, there will be a brief little snippet of illustrations from the book, as well as messages from the book, as well as where you can purchase it if you are interested. Okay. So, Giudech, Falcha, Benate an Banja Ort, which is Gaelic for hello, welcome. May the blessing of the goddess follow you. Like I said, I'd like to take this time to thank my day ones. Thank you so much for your love and your support and your subscriptions, okay, and how you guys have been interacting with me on these videos. Thank you so much. I'm very loyal and devoted to the collective, and you guys are my sole purpose, okay? Us healing ourselves and going through this path called the spiral to the self and how to get more to the self, okay? I'd also like to take the time to thank my new subscribers. Thank you so much, okay? So before I get into the astrological energy forecast, I'm going to cleanse the area as well as myself. I cleanse this room and myself of any ill will, ill intent, and negative energies. Please only allow goddess and positive energies to flow through as I channel this message. I'm going to call upon Anu, Maka, Bav, the Trinity Three, as well as the archangels, my ancestors, Banja, and the seen and unseen. Please protect me, the viewers, this video and channel as I deliver this divinely guided message. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know. Please only allow positive and goddess-like energy to flow through as I channel. Any curses, hexes, evil eye, let they be dissolved, transmuted, and intervened with by the All-High. The sender's mask will become ripped off, and they'll be unable to hide. All their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will be exposed and become publicly known. That's just short and sweet for send that shit, prepare to pay for that shit. Now I'm saying, I don't fuck around, and that's exactly what that's for, okay? Okay, collective, so let's get right in it, okay? So November 20th to the 26th, so we're going to go over the background energies, which is the retrograde energies. So currently we are still under Neptune retrograde, which is where the veil is lifted. People's masks are ripped off and the truth is exposed, okay? So the deceit, the lies, ill intentions that these people who have been around you, all their intentions, all their badness has been exposed, okay? Everything's becoming publicly known, okay? Like, it's getting to the point where you can't deny who these people are, okay? You're starting to watch their karma play out. You're starting to really watch these people's lives go through devastation here in this time period, and that's why. It's because for so long, these people have built up karmic debt, doing terrible things to the collective, and now with the cosmic shift, The All High, the Divine, has said enough is enough, and this is a fated event. So they were allowed to get away with certain shit for a certain time to build up that karmic debt, and then now they're literally being made an example of. So you're gonna know exactly who these people are, okay? Uranus retrograde, which is a wake-up call that provides us with independence, a breakthrough for our independence. Okay, like I said, a lot of these people are your friends, your family members, your lovers, ex-lovers that were doing all this crazy shit to you, like stealing, theft, even as far as doing black magic, because apparently that's been widespread, as well as people doing black magic to their family members to try to hold them back and to enable that codependency, or some serious jealousy and envy, so negative emotions, okay, to try to thwart people, okay, like trying to purposely create wounds on people that keep them stuck and stagnant. Like I said, the black magic, trying to take people's foundations away from them, trying to get in the way of their love life, trying to do all these terrible things to people, okay? It is to the point of what has been exposed. You cannot deny these people in favor of a kinder perspective. You can no longer ignore it. You can no longer rationalize it. You can no longer go, oh, well, maybe it was this. No. The Divine's making sure you know exactly who these people are. There's no escaping it. There's no way around it, okay? These people are being exposed to you for a reason, and it's for you to get away from them. So that way, the All High can rain down their karma on them while they drizzle you with good karma, okay? Think like little fairy dust. These people, they're going through like a tsunami of all their karmic debt, okay? Like, if they were wishing poverty on you, or for you to be ugly, or for you to have sickness, or even trying to unalive you with magic or anything like that, or stealing from you, now they're in a tsunami of all the shit they've been putting out there getting back based off the law of attraction, okay? And then you got you guys based off the law of attraction, where you guys were, doing good to people, having good intentions, sharing, having a sense of gratitude, okay? You're getting the little sprinkles, the fairy dust of good karma. You're getting your blessings, but these people had to get away from you first in order for the All High to give you your blessings. And there was a reason for that, because these people for a long time were sitting here trying to benefit from your blessings. They're even going as far as trying to siphon your sacral and solar plexus energy and trying to literally steal your luck, steal your willpower, steal your essence, and trying to get it to benefit them in some way, okay? Because they wanted to get rich off you, collective. They were looking at all this through money, and we'll get into that. That goes into the next retrograde, which is Jupiter retrograde, which is review of finances and our beliefs around money. Because like I said, past 60 years, I don't know what's been going on other than after the world wars, but we have an uptake of just narcissism, extreme narcissism. Like, think of a narcissist with a little bit of a magical ability. Think of that. That's what we're going up against, collective. We're up against people who are severely traumatized, severely wounded. They never healed themselves, out here having kids, out here being in the community with their unhealed selves. And then they decided that the world should pay for their problems because they decided they didn't want to heal, okay? No, it is not your fault what happened to you. If something terrible happened to you, like all the tragedy that's happened in your life, that is not your fault. However, it is your responsibility to heal from it. There's no other option. There's no other way out of it, because to be unhealed, you hurt yourself. And these people are going to be an example of that to you. These people are going to be walking examples of that to you, of what happens when you don't heal yourself. What happens when you sit there and dwell on these negative emotions like envy, anger, greed, okay? Because all these people did this shit for money because they thought money was the root of all happiness. And I know they say, well, I'd rather be rich and cry in my money than to be poor and happy or whatever. Well, there's value in everything. Quit putting all your value in one place. It creates an imbalance, okay? And if all you value is money, that is all you're going to get. But like I said, these people that were doing all these things for money and the attainment of money, like we're talking taking out life insurance policies on you that you didn't know about, and trying to do things too in the background in hopes that you died so they could collect the money. Or you having some kind of inheritance left to you by either a loved one or someone who knew you, and people falsified some documents so you wouldn't get it. Or trying to do things like either on the 3D, so on the physical plane, or in the 5D, so the spiritual world, trying to cripple your stability in order for you to have to be codependent and under the power and authority of someone else. Because that's the only way they felt needed, because they're completely unhealed. They thought the only way that they would be valued or needed by someone is if they had full control over them and that person needed them literally to live. Okay? So that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about money is not the root of all evil. It's people's value that they put on money. That is the root of all evil, and what they're willing to do for it. So even if you're not evil, think of what you're willing to do for money. Think of what you sacrifice daily for money. And it's not just the land, people need money to live. I agree, people do need money to live, okay? But think of it this way. Other than your necessities that you need, what are you willing to sacrifice for material gain? For, like, say, a material object, a material possession. What are you willing to sacrifice? Is it long working hours at a job that you hate with people who suck the life out of you, you know, so you can maybe have a little bit of a nicer car? So Joe Schmo down the street can think that you're well-to-do, you know, keeping up with the Joneses. You don't get to see your kid, you don't get to eat dinner with them, you don't get to tuck them into bed, nothing like that. You don't get to have a social life, you don't get to do any of these things because you place so much value on something else, right? Versus, because, you know, happiness is a state of mind. It's all what's up in here and what's in here. And if this is all out of balance, you're not going to be happy with anything. You're not going to be happy with whatever you put value on as far as material possession. You could buy a whole bunch of shit and still be depressed and empty. You can be completely unhappy and have so much money. Why do you think a lot of these, like, celebrities out here kill themselves? I mean, other than the, you know, the Illuminati and, you know, pedophile sex rings, things like that. Other than that, we're just talking, you know, just regular things here. But then that goes into it too. What are you willing to do for money? Because, you know, being a celebrity, going into Hollywood and all that, you know that's a possible future for you. That you're going to end up being with these people who do things like that. What are you willing to do for it? Jobs that pay high money, that come with high stress, which means it literally takes minutes, hours of your life away from you because you go through so much stress, and stress literally kills because it weakens the body and enables you to have sickness and stuff. So what are you willing to do for it? Because a lot of these people were willing to literally take you out, collective. A lot of these people were willing to do so much messed up stuff to you for money because they were completely empty in here and they had nothing but negativeness up here. Vesta retrograde, which is about focusing on transforming our relationships and our homes in order to protect our home and our inner flame. So this is going to be coming up with, in the U.S., we're going to have Thanksgiving here this week, okay? And the energies this week is going to be really intense. Like, by being intense, you got lots of Mars, you got lots of Sun, and you got Sagittarius, along with some Saturn in there. So it's going to be a lot of life lessons, and it's going to be a lot of fire energy, okay? Lots of fire. And Mars is the biggest malefic cosmic energy, okay? Which means it's kind of a negative in how it is. Because think Mars is, you know, very action, very fiery, but also destruction, you know, like life, death, rebirth, you know, like burning things down to build something new. Okay, that's what this week's about, and we have Thanksgiving, okay, which With Vesta retrograde, you've already had to cut a lot of people off, collective, during the retrograde during the summertime and then following into the fall time, okay? You've already had to cut a lot of people off because you realize how toxic people were, okay? These people that were purposely trying to trigger an emotional response from you to keep you down. These people who were trying to like cripple your self-esteem and your self-confidence in yourself because they saw that you were shining and they didn't like it and they wanted you to stay in the muck with them because they didn't want to elevate themselves, and because you were elevating, that was threatening to them. So they did some sabotagey things to your relationship, your connection, in order to try to keep you down with them, right? Like talking about family, you know, like Thanksgiving's a big thing about family and having dinners and stuff. I'm going to tell you this right now because that's what Vesta retrograde's all about, okay? With Uranus and Neptune, these people's masks have been ripped off. You're not going to be able to deny the fact that they're a narcissist. You're not going to be able to deny the fact that, hey, maybe Auntie Sue is super mean and bitter, and every time I'm around her, she just tries to cripple my self-esteem. She just attacks me verbally. Or, hey, Uncle Bob over there, he makes inappropriate comments to me that he shouldn't be making. Or Nana back here, she never has anything nice to say. All she wants to do is tell me I suck as an individual, even though my life is pretty decent. Or she keeps bringing up old wounds to keep me wounded and unhealed. Go where you are loved, celebrated, and respected, collective. So if you're part of the United States, go where you are celebrated, loved, and respected. Do not be tricked by blood. Blood means nothing. People's choices mean everything. If they are choosing to try to upset you, to get a emotional response just so they can go, so-and-so's unhinged, they're just so angry, see, look at them, starting drama with you, you know, trying to say mean shit to you because they think they can say it and not get decked out, okay? Like, thinking that they're just gonna come at you all hot, you know, because if you were a stranger on the street, they wouldn't be talking to you like that, now would they? No. They wouldn't. A lot of these people are people who throw stones and then hide their hands because they're cowards, okay? But Thanksgiving, don't feel like you have to go there to people who suck the energy and life out of you, that make you entirely unhappy, who have never said anything nice to you, and if anything, you have to recover emotionally and energetically for the wounds that they inflict on you. Like, and like the gaslighting thing they say is, well, you need to have thicker skin. No, you need to quit being an asshole. And it's not that the millennial generation is out here just severing families. They don't have value for family. No, it is we as a collective are being called to have a sense of self, to care about the self, to choose the self. Stop choosing to hurt yourself, to be around people who don't give a fuck about you. Stop choosing to be around people who just want to hurt you. At some point, enough's got to be enough. And that's what Vesta retrograde's about. It's protecting the inner flame, protecting your light, protecting your life force. Quit going around people that want to put out your fire. You don't have to go. Trust me, isolation and solitude is far better for you because one, it's very healing, and two, it puts you in touch with your ancestors and the spirit realm, okay? And it's peaceful versus being around people that just love to shit on you, that love to make you feel some type of way about yourself, that, you know, are unhealed themselves, and the only satisfaction they get is to project everything they hate about themselves onto you. Don't get tricked. Don't be forced by societal obligation to go someplace where you know they hate you, or someplace that you know you're going to have to spend a lot of time to heal yourself to recover from it. Choose yourself. Because when we choose ourselves, that's where life begins. That's when we get to enjoy life. That's when we get to have our blessings. That's when we get to have our abundances. That's when we get to have peace. Peace. Okay? And you don't, and people cooking stuff for you, you don't know people's intentions when they cook for you. If they have a negative internal dialogue and they're cooking food for you, trust and believe you're going to absorb every bit of that negativity in your body, and it's going to manifest in your chakras. Like if they're sitting there thinking of how much they hate you, or how much, they just don't want to do this, or it's such a chore, you're going to absorb that negativity and it's going to slowly poison you. Why? You can make mac and cheese and mashed potatoes at home and it not be toxic as fuck for you, You can make all that shit at home. Yeah, you can make it at home. You don't need to be around that. You don't have to be around that. Now, you can make the choice. That's what I'm saying. It's all about choices. You can make the choice to go there. But only go if it's a place of warmth, a place of love, a place of respect. Not a place of people just trying to tear you down because they themselves feel like POSs. They themselves feel like they are nothing in this world, and they just try to make everyone else around them feel like that too. Especially people with their kids, they're like that. Or people with their nieces and nephews. They feel like they can just tear them down and not have any consequences. Okay? You choose to be there. Don't go. What's going to happen if you don't? Someone's going to get mad at you? No, anything but someone being mad at me. Do they pay your bills? No. Do they fulfill you in any way? No. Do they provide you with love and nourishment? Obviously not if they're putting you down, so that's a hard no. Do they add anything to your life, or do they just take it away? Those are the only things you need to ask to decide if you need to go or not. Like I said, it's not like we're just trying to rip apart families. No, it's holding people accountable for their actions, which is something that every adult does. The world does. The universe does. You are held accountable to your actions. If you're out here spewing hatred on people, you're being held accountable for that. Because you know what? I'm sorry your mommy and daddy didn't love you. I'm sorry that, you grew up abandoned. I'm sorry that, uncle or auntie decided to touch you and they shouldn't have, those are terrible things and they should have never happened to you. But it's your choice to heal yourself. It's your choice to choose you. It's your choice to live or to die. Because these people who are unhealed, they're dead already. They don't enjoy life. They have no joy. They have no love. They're empty. They're void. So they're already dead. They're not growing. If they've made it to 80 and they've never grown any, they're already dead. They're walking sacks of flesh. They've contributed nothing to the world. They're not contributing anything to you other than giving you more wounds to heal, because they won't. That's how you get generational curses, is people who won't heal themselves giving it to other people in the bloodline, and then you having to keep healing that, It's not your responsibility to tolerate their shit. It's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to have to carry other people's emotional baggage. It's theirs. It's theirs. They don't want to heal. They don't want to grow. You don't have to be around them. Maybe they need some isolation, some solitude to make them choose better and be better. Because that's the only options we have in Life Collective, is to choose better and be better, or to get left behind. Nobody wants to get left behind. But there's people who willingly choose so. There's people who do. And they try to grab onto you to force you to stay there. It's your life. You make choices. And Vesta retrograde is going to make you go, you know what? I care about the family I created. I care about the people that I surround myself with. See, if you got kids, you got a husband, you got a wife, whatever. You care about that bloodline now. See, if the ones around you that, you grew up with, they're all toxic as fuck and they hate each other, why would you go around that knowing it's just going to make you miserable? It's not going to make you feel good. The food's not going to make you feel good. It's just going to make you feel bad. So only go if it's filled with love, warmth, and respect. You choose that. Okay, collective? Okay, so getting into it, November 20th to the 26th, like I said, it's a high fire week and weekend, so we're going to have a lot of fire. We're going to have Mars, we're going to have the Sun, and they're going to be in Sagittarius, as well as there's going to be a lot of Saturn involvement as well, and Pluto. So it's just a lot of fire. So, and that can go both ways. That can be either to create or to destroy. But either way, know that there's going to be a transformation to be had. You're going to go through a life, death, and rebirth moment. A death and rebirth moment to get to your transformation. So do you want to transform yourself to create? Or do you want to transform yourself to destroy? Because either way, there's going to be a life lesson in this. You're not going to escape this, okay? It's going to be a high emotional week of either creativity or destruction and overcoming obstacles, pessimism, delays that will aid in the death of the old and transform to the new to reach our destiny or overcome a life lesson, as well as optimism and furthering our freedom in relationships, parenthood, or womanhood. Because we have Ceres that's also going to be in Sagittarius as well. So we're going to have Mars, the Sun, and one of the major 4 asteroids, Ceres, is going to go into the sign of Sagittarius. So a lot of fire, okay? And it's a lot of fire around relationships. But like I said, it's about transformation. It's going to be about purging out old heart wounds. It's going to be about you being a better you and you deciding to have relationships that are in more alignment with you, that are the same vibration as you, that are an equal give and take, and it's not just you being some doormat for someone to step on, okay? That's what this is about, okay? So November 20th, the Sun sextile Pluto, the Moon will be in Pisces. So know that there's some new creations that are waiting to be born as our difficulties are subsiding, as there will be intense and powerful energy surrounding a full transformation. Like I said, you're going to go through a transformation this week. Okay, a full one. There's going to be some death and there's going to be some rebirth, but it's to purge out wounds. And usually how you heal yourself is through creativity, like singing, dancing, writing, drawing, painting, things like that. Like you're going to create something to get the old out of you that is no longer serving you. Maybe even some old limited beliefs that held you back, or you're going to get rid of toxic relationships that need to be cut off, okay? Or you're getting rid of some pent up emotions or painful experiences that you've been holding on to that's kept you stuck and stagnant, okay? Also note that our dreams and intuition will be of a mystical nature, providing us with the ideas for this creation, okay? November 21st, Mars sextile Pluto. Trust you are right where you are supposed to be. Everything's going to divine plan. There will be intense energy surrounding our passions and or transformations. Like I said, to either harm or to create. November 22nd. The Sun will be in Sagittarius until December 23rd, as well as the Moon will be in Aries and the monoceratid meteor shower peak day. Okay, so the Sun going in Sagittarius is going to be intense energy, providing the optimism to either further our freedom in life, like to reach our happiness and whatever happiness looks like for us, or to research a subject, because Sagittarius is also the student to study, okay? We're also going to have an intuitive focus on where we need to confront or initiate change this day. Like I said, you're going to have some kind of inkling of what you need to do, because changes might need to be made. And that's what we are as humans. We grow, we evolve. If things are no longer, you're not supposed to stay in the same place. You're supposed to constantly transform, constantly evolve. Okay, and that's how you have a great life. That's how you better yourself. That's how you can be the best you, okay? And then it's also a day we should focus on solitude in order to garner the bigger picture and how to find common ground, because there will be sudden highs and lows in people's emotions, or shifts, like drastic shifts in likes or dislikes, resulting in healing or collapse of a family structure. This is the day before Thanksgiving, by the way, here in the US, the 22nd. So focus on solitude and if you really need to go or not, okay? And know that people's emotions are gonna be either really high or really low. Like I said, it's a fire week, so that means people's emotions are gonna be very strong, very passionate. That could be both ways. That could be passionate in a good way, like very happy, very joy of life, where it's gonna be like, I hate the world and the world owes me things. Like, that's what you're gonna be experiencing this week. Like I said, it's a week to be around people, so just be careful, okay? And there, like I said, it might bring healing to a family, or it's going to be collapse of a family structure. Okay, November 23rd, so in the US it's Thanksgiving Day, Turkey Day. Sun square Saturn, okay, there's going to be an intense energy surrounding an obstacle or possible distress resulting from a life lesson that needs to be learned on our path in order to get us to the next level. So this week we're going to have a life lesson, okay, and it's one that is part of your path. Okay, it is something that has to be overcome. It is something that, one, you know you're going to overcome it. Two, you just need a different perspective to do it. And three, you just need to know that it's required. Doing the whole poor me pity party shit like isn't going to get you anywhere. Okay, but knowing that it can be overcome because it's part of your path. Okay, unless there's actual death in your chart, or if you foresee that for yourself, like, it's going to be overcome. It's just a life lesson that has to be learned, okay? Because we need to let our pains, losses, and sorrows transform us as we're purging old heart wounds that have been keeping us stuck, that have kept our vibration stuck, kept us from having higher vibration, okay? And I'm going to do something. I learned how to do this, and we're gonna up the mood. Like I said, I'm a fire sign, so it's gonna be a week for me, that's for sure. But the turkey, it's Turkey Day. Ooh! A country man taught me how to do that, and it makes me die every time. So laughter is a way to release things, you know, especially if you're like me. Sometimes I laugh so hard I cry and I snort and all these things. So do that, you know, if it makes you laugh. And I'll teach you how, just a tiny little second here. Okay, so how this country man taught me to do it is you inhale and then you say ow, and then you move your tongue. So you go, carry on. November 24th, Mars is going to be in Sagittarius, and the moon is going to be in Taurus, which is the exalted sign for the moon, which means it's the most intense energies of the moon, okay? So Mars is going to be in Sagittarius until January 5th of next year. It's going to be an intense drive to assert more freedom in our lives in order to obtain happiness. Okay, we're gonna have an intuitive focus to be practical versus emotional, and to go at a slow and steady pace. Slow and steady pace is what we need though for Black Friday here. Like, that's for damn sure. Okay. But you're gonna want more freedom in your life, because that's what we're doing. We're breaking old chains that kept us back. We're breaking out of limited beliefs that were, imposed on us, where people try to tell us we couldn't achieve our dreams or achieve our goals or anything like that. Okay, we're getting rid of all that. Like, we're getting rid of the shackles that have bound us, that made us feel like we were stuck in this box. Okay, we've been stuck in this box, which is a box of the mind. You're in a self-imposed prison, okay? There's so many possibilities. There's so many options out there, okay? There's so many, but because of how we've been conditioned in society, we only see things from a tiny level, and then it makes us feel a certain type of way. It makes us feel like failures, like we're this, we're that. Well, why can't I be that, Why does so-and-so get that? Like, why, there's a lot of whys and making you feel like you're a failure at life, when really, no. Get yourself out of the box, Get yourself out of the box. There's more opportunities out there. There's more options. You just have to be able to see them, which means you have to shift your perspective, okay? November 25th, Mars squares Saturn. Ceres will be in Sagittarius. And this will be in Sagittarius until February 8th. Okay, so more Sagittarius. Okay, so what this is going to happen, we're going to have like some optimism and getting our more freedom for ourselves, furthering our freedom and our happiness in our relationships, and being devoted to nurturing ourselves and our inner child, as well as our children and family, okay? And we're being called to focus on our healing in practical ways, okay? However, also note there's going to be a high intense energy, emotions due to an obstacle needing to be overcome to reach our destiny. Like I said, this whole week's going to be about overcoming some obstacle or overcoming some and learning some kind of life lesson, okay? November 26th, the moon will be in Gemini, okay? So we're going to have an intuitive focus, that's going to stem from intellectually stimulating conversations, okay? You're going to have a conversation with somebody and it's just going to spark something. Your intuition's going to pick up something. It's going to spark some kind of curiosity. So pay attention to what that is. Whatever makes your little light bulb go boop, 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 boop. Yeah, figure out what that is. Your intuition's picked up on it for a reason. Okay, say you're having a conversation and somebody mentions like, just like a random topic or something like, can't think of anything at the moment, but say there's just something that really truly interests you. Whatever you are interested in from that conversation, your intuition's picked up on it for you to further pursue, okay? Also, to remember to care well for the sources you find guidance and protection, okay? So say if you listen to readers, you listen to astrology, say you go to church, say you read books, it's a day to care well for the sources that you find that, okay? Because these people devote their time, they devote their energy to you and to serving their purpose for the collective, okay? And you're being called to nurture that, to support that in whichever way that is for you. Like I said, sometimes it's money, sometimes it's time, sometimes it's energy, you know, or just gratitude for it. Saying a simple thank you can go a long way, right? So really think about that, because that's what we're being called to do that day. So the chakra that coincides with the energies of this week is going to be the third eye. Like I thought the root, just because the color red was very apparent, but actually it's going to be more the third eye, because it's going to be more about our thought processes and intuitive guidance, okay? And it's also going to be about overcoming life lessons, which means we have to listen to our intuition for that. You're not going to get any kind of guidance or validation from external sources when it comes to this. Like you're going to need to listen to your intuition to overcome those obstacles, and you're going to need your intuition and divine guidance, okay, in order to help you to understand the life lesson. Because remember, what you don't learn, you repeat, okay? There's a reason why it's called a cycle. And say if you've been out there hurting people or whatever, being a karmic, if you've been out there being a karmic to people, you're going to keep repeating karmic lessons. And if you haven't gotten away from the karmics, you're going to still be in a karmic cycle until you get out, okay? So that's the whole purpose of cutting these people off and getting them out of your energy, okay? So that way you don't have to keep repeating the lessons. Because these people that have been doing all the dirty in the background, like they're in a never-ending loop of karmic cycles. They don't understand that about themselves, you know? But, you know, speaking of karmics, because I know that there are some that watch this, you know, all are welcome here. Just know whatever energy you send out, you're going to get back. Like, so just know that. But if you are a karmic that watches this show, okay, like you're hoping to find some, because I mean, collective, I know this goes for you guys too, there's people out there that literally been stalking you over the summer and now they're your number one fans, you know, they don't have any other thing to do other than to watch what you got going on and to see if their spell worked or not, or to see, you know, if you out them, you know, like out their name or things like that. Or to see, hey, if I'm going to get exposed this week or not. Like, these people have been, or they just watch your shit because they want to see what blessing they need to try to take away from you or something to stop you. Okay, well, for me, collective, one, I'm very strategic, meaning I don't tell people nothing unless I want them to know it. You know, we talk about the illusions being broken from the people who were being deceitful and all that. The people of light can cast illusions too. People of light can definitely cast illusions. So like for me, one, know that if you're stalking me, you're never going to find anything personal about me because I don't divulge it. But two, imagine stalking me and all you find is how to heal yourself, and you forcefully trigger a dark night of the soul within yourself. Imagine that. Imagine that. Like, you're so fixated on somebody other than you, which is why your life's shit, by the way. Like, because, you know, if you took that same energy and you applied it to your own goals and applied it to healing yourself, you'd have everything you're jealous or envious in another person. You know, you'd have it. But because you decided to focus so much of your time and energy on someone else, that's why your life's shit, because it's reflective of what's in here and what's in here, and that's your energy that you have, and that's what's through the law of attraction, that's what comes back to you, okay? Imagine that. Like, you're sitting there trying to find things about somebody, and the only thing that you're finding is how to heal yourself. And if you're following a person who's high vibration, a starseed, a chosen one, an earth angel, being around that person or in their presence or anything is all it's going to do is force you to raise your vibration, or it's going to irritate you to the point you don't want to be around them. Like, the light they emit is going to irritate your demons so badly and so harshly you either can't be around or it's going to force you to rise. And why I'm talking about this, because I said it goes into third eye, like, maybe my little karmic-y audience here, for those who are karmics, say most of you collective are divine feminines and masculines, so just exclude this. But the karmic-y ones, maybe, just maybe, you've noticed that all the bad you've done to people has always caught up to you. Maybe, you know, when you were stealing money from people, you noticed that you always had more people to pay and you never got to enjoy what you took, right? Like, or maybe if you did get to enjoy it, it was for a short amount of time, and then something came that took a lot of your money and you didn't have anything, right? Maybe you started to notice that. I mean, I feel like you'd be a fool to not, but maybe you started to notice that, hey, I know I stole, like, say, X amount of dollars in some crazy, outlandish way. Or maybe I stole abundance energy or something in some kind of crazy, outlandish way. And I was abundant for, you know, a week, a month, 2 months. But then all of a sudden I got hit with an unexpected bill that wiped me out. Or I got some kind of consequence, like all my relationships just failed at once. Energy. It's all about energy. And if you're putting out nothing but negative energy, you get it back. Maybe, just maybe, you're realizing that, or at least your soul is. And your soul's like, look, the ego's been running shit all this time, because that's what the ego would do. You're not doing black magic and shit if it was your soul talking. That's your ego, okay? You're not trying to curse people or steal from them or thinking that you've got power over people, or that you're the ultimate authority, or that you're a puppet master or shit like that. You're not thinking that unless it's your ego. And your soul's like, you know what, man? We've let you run things for however much time, and life's hard. It sucks. I got a stench, because if you're evil, you stink. People can smell you. You emit some kind of smell. Like, you literally do. You emit some kind of smell, and it's, I don't know how to really describe it, but it's, you know it. And people are going to look at you weird, like exactly like my face. Like, it's you stink. If you are doing dark stuff, you stink. Like, say, if you're possessed by a demon, you stink. If you do nothing but evil, like you're just full of darkness, you stink. So you're going to stink. And so your soul's like, you know what? I can't really take more of this. Like, I stink. Everybody hates me. Nobody wants to be around me. I can't really take any more of those burdens, because, more likely if you were doing this dark magic, or if, you're in this negative mindset of envy and jealousy and stuff, it's because you are not healed. And you're trying to make everyone else suffer for your shit because you refuse to heal yourself. You think it's easier to do this than to heal yourself. And your soul's like, well, we tried your easy way, ego, and it just sucks. So maybe your soul, the reason why you stuck around to stalk somebody is because your soul wants more. Maybe your soul wants to not be in that dark place anymore. Maybe your soul wants to heal. Maybe your soul wants you to rise and raise your vibration. Maybe. Because otherwise, why do you still be here? If my or the collective's light irritates your demons so badly, why else would you be here? If you don't like me, you don't have to watch me. It's a choice. No one's forcing you to be here, right? So ask yourself, why are you still here? Because, the only thing you're going to gain from being here is learning how to heal yourself. You're going to forcefully trigger a dark night of the soul. And collective, that's the sweetest revenge. If you want to talk about revenge, it's the sweetest revenge. And that's how the divine works. Hang around, my chosen. You're going to rise regardless if you want to or not. The whole point here is to raise the vibration. And the chosen ones, the star seeds, the beings of light, they're here to raise the vibration of the collective, of humanity. That's what we're here for. So if you willingly watch us, that's what you want to do too. Because you want to raise your vibration. You want to attract rather than chase. You want to attract your blessings. You want to attract unconditional love. You want to attract things versus trying to force someone to, like with love spells, or trying to steal, and then you end up having that shit taken back. Because any foundation that is created from stealing gets demolished. Like, the divine demolishes it. Because it wasn't ever built on a firm foundation. It was built off of theft. And then it all gets returned to that person. Like, if you have a mindset of a child, because I think you do, to be in the place you are, to be in a state of envy and stuff where you're enacting generational curses on your family and you're literally taking your life away. Because some of these people, collective, they literally spent so much time and energy trying to take from someone else. It's literally gave them sickness that they will not get rid of. It will literally take their life, right? It's taking their life, it's taking their money, it's taking their relationships, it's taking their soul, because they didn't want to heal and they focused entirely too much on someone else. It's like, after you've lost everything, but then, spend the time that you have to maybe heal yourself, because everything that you've taken, one is given back, and it's given back with interest, which goes into the life lessons and obstacles. Any obstacle you've given to another person, they get it all back. Like, you delayed them maybe a tiny bit, but then they get it back. They get rewarded for it, for passing it, while you just reap more muck to get stuck in, or possibly get possessed by something because you're so dark, and then it just takes your life, it takes your soul. It's like, for what? What is so worth? What is it worth? Like, why do you think that's worth that? I'm gonna ask you that. Like, why do you think it's worth all that? Like, some of these people are people you don't even know that's stalking you, collective. It's like, you've never met them, you never talked to them. It's like, you focus so much on someone else, it's literally taking your life. It's taking everything from you. And if you need, since you have a mindset of a child, you need a book to read Grimm's fairy tales. I read them to my kids. Almost every single one that has a princess in it, it's somebody who thinks, someone who's poor, like say like a bait or something, or a jealous brother or something like that, who decides, you know what, I want that person's position, tries to do something deceitful to get it, like, tries to intimidate the princess and says, if you tell anyone, I'll kill you, and then makes the princess a maid. Every ending of every single one of those stories is they get caught, the princess gets everything back, and the person who got caught literally dies. Every single story. Like, every story. No joke. Like, every time someone steals something, they die. That's the end. And collective, it's literally playing out in real life. Like, every single one of those stories is playing out in real life. These people that are trying to siphon energy from you, trying to unalive you with magic, stalking you, doing all these things, they're literally killing themselves. Literally. Because they're so void, they got addictions that's taken from them. Maybe it's addicted to magic, but they're addicted to other things too to fill that void. They don't have any joy, they don't have any happiness, that's for sure. All their energy, their life force is going to look at someone else. And then they just reap more karmic debt that makes their life suck more. And it's like, For what? You're not going to take what that person has. Like, it's like that Lana Del Rey song, you know, like, you really don't get it. You really don't get it. You've already forgotten, and I really just said it. Like, I'm going to stay on top, you know? Like, if it's not in their birth chart, you're not going to take it from them. Like, if they are meant to have a life of luxury and peace, you and your puny little self is not going to take it from them. It is a fated event. And even the gods have to abide by the laws of fate. You are not God. You are not the universe. Do not be so naive to think that you are. That you can play the universe, that you can play God, because that is going to be the most devastating mistake you make. And you're learning it now. My little karmics out there. You're learning it now. That's your life lesson this week. You're learning it. Learning. You're not going to take from these people. So maybe you should take the little amount of time that you're not going to get back and focus on yourself and give yourself joy for the little life that you've got left to live. Maybe you should do that. Because you're not going to take from the collective that's meant for great things. You're not. I know you've been studying the chart, you've been getting little tarot readings on people. You will not take what is meant to be theirs. You will maybe delay it, but they're still going to get it. And you are just going to pass your karmic debt on to one, your reincarnated self, if you get to do that, two, on your bloodline. And now they have to pay for your nonsense. Stop. Like, I'm not telling you for me because I'm always going to be fine. You, though, you're not. The only way to get things in life is if you focus on yourself. Mastering the self to attract instead of chase. You've tried chasing. Didn't work out for you so well, now did it. Try attracting now. And do that through healing. Because you tried to also attract by love spells and stuff, and it just made you completely obsessed with another person who wants nothing to fucking do with you. So that's what I'm saying, my little karmicies out there. Like, have some accountability for yourself. You are going to learn the lesson if you haven't already. Be better, do better. You've let your ego run for however long, okay? And you saw exactly where that got you with the goose egg. Nothing. Try to let your soul speak to you. And if you're watching me, or the other chosen, you're going to be forced to raise your vibration. You're going to be forced to heal. And if that's your intention, I encourage you to stay. Stay and watch. Stay in and be part of the collective. Be part of the awakening. So let's get in the third eye. The third eye is the chakra that gives us the ability to record, obtain, send pictures, symbols, colors, and images that represent our reality. It's like, think of it's like a consistent system that encodes and records. Like, it records and encodes things to translate in our minds, like, and however our minds work to make sense of our reality, okay? It's linked to our pituitary gland, which contains magnetite, okay? And it controls hormones and endocrine functions. Okay, it works with the sacral chakra to enable manifesting when stimulated by an emotional desire. Okay, your emotions are your fuel for manifestations. So like I said, if you are negative all up in here in your internal dialogue, your heart chakra is closed off, you will manifest negative things to you. However, if you have a positive internal dialogue that's very loving, very compassionate to yourself, okay, very forgiving to yourself, and you are very clear and concise, you will manifest, which is how you attract the things that you want to attract. So say if you want someone to love you unconditionally, you have to first love yourself unconditionally. You have to first speak very positively to yourself. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to end up in another toxic relationship that's going to fuel your bitterness, your hatred, or whatever that's gotten you in toxic relationships in the past that made you who you are. Okay? All right, provides potential life paths and choices based on our self-image and deserving beliefs. You have to believe that you are worthy of what you are asking for. Like I said, it's all about the internal dialogue here. If your internal dialogue is very negative, you're going to get presented with negative choices, which are going to result in self-sabotaging behaviors that you don't want to have, okay? But if it's of a loving nature, you're going to get positive choices to choose from. And then you are going to reap exactly what you sow. Okay, you're going to have things that uplift you, that help heal you, that give you fulfillment in your life. The yang function of this chakra is the ability to see and reach the future and provide the strategy in order to get it. Okay, like I said, this week's going to be all about that. You're going to have a mystical quality at the very beginning of the week on how to create something that needs to be born from within you. Okay, there's going to be something within you that needs to be shared. And you're going to have, your intuition's going to provide you with that. Okay? The yin function of this chakra is of the self-image and perception. How you feel about yourself, it is what is sent out into the universe, and it will send you experiences that further validate how you feel about yourself. Talk about Thanksgiving, I talked about relationships, I talked about everything, okay? Like, if you view yourself in a very unloving way, and you have a very distorted perception, you are going to draw to you those situations, okay? And those kind of people. So say if you don't love yourself, you're going to further attract people who are toxic, who are going to make you feel more unworthy and make you not love yourself more because they're going to violate your boundaries. They're going to disrespect you. They're going to cause resentment, okay? That's going to close your heart chakra. Okay, so if you stand your ground, like I said, don't be going to Thanksgiving to people who just make you feel disrespected, who just demean you and put you down. Like, do yourself some service, okay? Be loving to yourself. Don't be putting yourself in situations you know that will hurt you, okay? Because it's going to deal with your perception of yourself. That's how you become unloving to yourself, is you keep doing things to yourself that you know will hurt you. Okay, and the soul communicates the desires for the future and what needs change to reach it. Like we have Aries this week, like the moon in Aries, which is going to give you something to confront or to initiate a change. Okay, your soul's going to speak to you heavily this week on how to overcome the life lesson, how to get through those obstacles. Okay, what creation needs to be born from this, if you should go or if you shouldn't go. Like I said, the toxic relationships or environments, okay, it's going to tell you what it's desiring. Like I was telling you, the karmics. Maybe your soul is telling you it's tired of your bullshit. Maybe that's what your soul's telling you. It's tired of your bullshit. It's tired of your ego. Your ego's been running amok all this time. It's gotten you nowhere. Your soul's tired of paying for it. Like it's like, fuck, like let me breathe, let me out. There's probably a beautiful person in there if you would let your soul run things and quit letting your ego fuck up your life, you know? Like, let your soul speak. Listen to your intuition. Trust the information it gives you. If it's telling you to destroy, if it's telling you to take, if it's telling you to steal, if it's telling you to do all these terrible things, it's not your soul, that's your ego. Before we leave or end this program, I'm going to draw some cards here, since we're speaking of the soul. It's the deck that I use for my higher self messages. I actually really like it. It's called the Galactic Oracle or something like that. So what does our higher self need to know? What does the collective's higher self need to know this week? What does the collective's higher self need to know for this week? For the November 20th to the 26th. A lot of messages, but you know it is a long week. Okay. Vibrational match, color green, heart chakra. What did I just say? Like I can't even make this shit up. Okay, this week's about being with people and environments that are in alignment with you, okay? That aren't healing you, that aren't doing things to you, that aren't creating more wounds to be healed. Now you're going through healing this week. You're in a healing light of cocoon, a healing cocoon of light, okay? Angels are surrounding you this week. They're going to get you through this obstacle, this life lesson. Divine plan. Everything's going in accordance to divine plan, okay? Everything's going in accordance to divine plan. This obstacle, this lesson, is something that was meant to be on your path that will get you to where you need to be. So take a deep breath, okay? Count to 10. You're going to get through this. You're going to get through this. And it's going through a divine plan. This is divinely orchestrated for your particular soul. And like I said, the karmics out here trying to take things from people, divine plan is going to trump all your shit. If divine plan says that the collective has this or the collective's going to do that, you will not stop them. You will only stop yourself. Conscious living, again, green, heart chakra, okay? It says to those healthy changes you have been meaning to make are imperative for you now. So Moon and Aries energy, you know, to initiate or make changes. Your soul wants you to make changes. Guiding light in your darkest hours, so blue. Dark blue, which is your third eye, okay? In your darkest hour, your intuition is going to lead the way because your soul is going to speak to you. Let it. You're going to go through a heart opening. Like I said, stop. You're going to... Someone you know, it may even be you, is withholding love and creating a very emotionally painful experience for everyone involved, okay? So quit being around people that hurt you. Quit being around people who wound you. They're withholding love, so stop being around them. If they don't have love to give, you have nothing to gain from that, okay? But you're going through a heart opening, so you're purging out the old, you're cutting off toxic relationships that are no longer serving you, okay? And you're going to have ones that are more in alignment with you. Rise above, purple, crown chakra, okay? You will gain clarity on this current situation when you see it from a higher perspective. Didn't we talk about that? You're going to need a higher perspective in order to get through this life lesson. Financial freedom, yellow, okay? Solar plexus. You're going to get through this. Have the confidence, have the belief in yourself that you're going to get through this life lesson this week. You will. Expansion. You're getting ready to expand. Don't be stuck in a negative mindset. If it seems like it's depressing at the moment, just tell yourself, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through this. Say, I'm going to get through this. This is only temporary. I'm going to get through this. There's something to be learned here. And if you have that kind of mindset, you will get through it. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get a blessing that we should be grateful for this week. So what blessing should the collective be grateful for this week? A blessing to shield and safeguard you. Okay, you got heavy Morgan energy here. Okay, so you already had the angels are here to help heal you. You have a blessing to shield and safeguard you from further heartache. So if your intuition's telling you not to go someplace, don't go. If your intuition's telling you that someone's off, don't go. If something abruptly ends, meaning like if you all of a sudden can't get to a place, like say if you're trying to go to a family dinner, you're trying to go out shopping and you get these obstacles that stop you, it's to save you from something. It's a blessing in disguise, and that's what this is. So you need to be grateful for this. Something, a delay, an obstacle is actually saving you from something else, okay, that you may not be aware of. So it's a blessing for you. Okay, guys, it's Belena with Spark of the Self. Hope you guys have a great and glorious week. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the princess and her inner voice. Bye, guys.